there. Well, we've got a leader on the call today who really is been with Beachbody for a long time, has had a tremendous impact in so many ways. I first referenced to her by her maiden name, but she does go now by Meg Kozlowski, and her husband I know is saying, Jeff, get it right. I got this text that just said, Jeff, get it right or else. But we're thrilled to have her on. She is a 15-star diamond. She's a member of the Million Club. She is a 6-time elite coach, which means she's focusing on the core activities that just keep driving the business forward and working with her new coaches as well. She is a Success Club 10 All-Star Legend. What that means is for over 24 months, I'm not sure exactly what the string is there, Meg, but that means every month she's helping at least 5 people come into the business and helping 5 people every single month achieve their results. And her topic today really is about inviting people, the core of the business. And she termed it, and Meg, jump on the phone so we can see you. If you're already there, welcome. But she termed it PB&J, which really caught my attention because I thought, if ever there was a staple, whenever I kind of I have my go-to thing that I can always rely on, it's the PB&J, peanut butter and jelly. Now, we're not going to talk about that today, but the equivalent. So let's jump in, Meg. Welcome to the call.
Sure, I'm totally honored. And you can call me Wazinski or Kozlowski. I'm part of both families, so it still counts.
Both sides are still claiming you?
Yeah, they still claim me, luckily.
That's better than me. Sometimes I get, they just, I've always got someone rejecting me some way, but you much do a lot better than I do. But seriously, welcome to the call. And you're not new to coaching. You come with a lot of context. You come with a lot of experience, and I don't want to say the roller coaster, but certainly the seasons and the ups and downs, the headwinds, the tailwinds, and all those kinds of things. And you've been able to focus on those things that provide consistency in the business. But for those that may not know you either as Kozlowski or Wazinski, let's just go back to the beginning and talk a little bit about who is this woman and how did you get introduced with Team Beachbody?
Sure. Yes, there's definitely roller coasters, you guys, especially when you've been a coach for 9 years. I started my coaching career when I was 22 years old, and I had just gotten out of dietetic school. I was 30 pounds overweight. I didn't get into a dietetic internship. I moved back home with my wonderful parents, and I had about $80,000 of debt starting to come at me from my student loans. I really didn't know what I was going to do. All I knew was that I wanted to have a career in health and fitness, but I needed to get myself in check first before anyone would listen to me. And luckily, I met my amazing coach, Janelle Summers, and I saw the life that she was able to have. She was teaching fitness classes. She was running this online business. She was able to be home and present with her husband as well as her son. And even just being 22 years old, I knew in the future I wanted that kind of lifestyle. So I dove into the coaching business. I was not a quick starter, you guys. It took me about 2 years before I finally said, you know what, this is the business that I want to make my full-time job. And so I always tell people you can have a sign-up date and a start date. Sometimes they're a couple years apart. Sometimes they're the same day. There's no right or wrong way, you guys. About 1.5 years into building my coaching business and really saying that this is what I want to do and treating it like a business, I walked away from my first full-time job where I was feeling passionless, and I was able to go full-time as a coach. But what I want to really dive into, you guys, is that, yes, that was my starting story. But the hardest story and the hardest journey that I've had to overcome has been this year. Now, I know a lot of coaches have seen changes in their business from 2017 to 2018, amazing changes. And I love being a part of a company that continues to grow and continues to learn and push us. But for me, we started 2018 and we said, this is going to be our year. My husband and I aligned our fitness goals, our personal goals, our business goals, and we said, this is going to be it. And so we started out really strong. New Year's boom, our team was crushing it. We were crushing it. We found out that we were pregnant with our second child. I have an almost 3-year-old who is my world. And we found out that we were pregnant, and it was like everything was aligning. And I was trusting God. And I said, okay, we're starting out really strong. Well, about a month after learning that we were pregnant with our second child, 2 days before my 31st birthday, we lost that child. And I started to see myself slip away. But like normal, I didn't let myself fully process what was happening. I dove back into the business head first and I said, this business has helped me through hard times before. I'm just going to go full force and have it help me again. 4 weeks later, we found out I was pregnant again, and it was a little bit of a whirlwind. We'll talk about a roller coaster. I had no idea what to think, but I said, okay, I'm going to continue to trust this journey. And 4 weeks later, we lost that baby. And at that time, that was the first time in my entire life I said, I don't know if I can continue to coach. I don't know if I can continue to pour into other people because I was losing myself. I could barely get out of bed. I was crying all the time. I really didn't know what to do. And I was losing that positive, hardworking person because for the first time in my life, things were completely out of my control. The baby that we wanted so badly wasn't coming into our life. I was in a deep, deep hole, Jeff, and I didn't know how to dig myself out of it. I was still going through the motions, guys. I want you to hear this. I was still going through the 4 vital behaviors. I was still showing up for my team every single day, but the thing that was missing was my heart. My heart wasn't in this business anymore. I was starting to resent it. I was starting to dread showing up and working in my office for something over the last 9 years I got excited for every single day. And I wasn't excited anymore. I was losing it, you guys. And my team started to fall apart as well. Yes, you heard those accolades, and our team has done amazing stuff, but they were losing their leader. And because they were losing our leader, we went from a superstar diamond team down to a 7-star team in April. And I knew that, looking at my daughter, and, she is the sweetest thing in the world, but she looked at me, and I remember this very vividly. I was crying on the couch, and she came over and brought me a tissue and said, "It's okay, Mama, it's okay," and started to wipe my tears. And I looked at her and I said, this is not how things are going to continue to go. I need to refine myself, not just for my team, but for my family, because my daughter deserves to have her mom. My husband deserves to have his happy wife. And I knew that I had to dig myself out. And guys, this was just 5 months ago. 5 months, so it's very, very fresh. Do you want me to keep going, Jeff?
Yeah, please keep going. I mean, I'm just watching some of the messages that are popping up and the reality of life that enters and just tragic, tough stuff while you're trying to balance all these things and put things into perspective. But anyway, let's keep moving forward.
Yeah, and it really has put things in perspective. We can get so caught up in the day-to-day to-dos, you guys, but I really do believe that through this entire experience over the last 9 months, I have become such a better person. I have my priorities in check. I've learned so much, I've grown so much, and I've been able to dig myself out of this hole. I mean, it wasn't a choice. I had to do this. I had to do it because I knew that I could never walk away from Beachbody. Not only has it gave me a career that I absolutely adore, but the people, like even corporate, I have some amazing friends on the corporate team, coaches on my team, and it's given me something that I can do around my daughter's schedule. So I turned to my team, and I also turned to becoming a student again. Yes, I've been a coach for 9 years, but I knew that things had changed on social media. Things had changed drastically, and I was falling behind. I had to catch up, and I had to look at where my team and I were struggling, which was bringing new coaches onto the team. I think probably majority of people, if you're watching this, you're probably saying, yep, that's me too. That's a tough subject if you're not in the flow of it. And I'll tell you, I completely let it go. In April of 2018, when we lost our second baby, our third baby, I guess you'd consider it, it was the first month in years that I had not brought any new coaches in, as well as Struggle to Hit Success Club. Now, I know many people will say, but that's life. Like that's okay that happened. We can't think that way, you guys. Life never slows down. You still have to show up every single day and do the best that you can, okay? So for me, I was looking at things. I became a student again. I looked at what these top new coaches were doing, and I said, oh man, this stuff is gonna make me super uncomfortable, but I have to do it. Because no matter how long you've been in this business, you can never stop being a student. You can never stop putting yourself out there and trying new things and pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. But I knew that if I was going to do this, I had to focus on quality versus quantity. My heart was craving those deeper connections with the people that I was talking to on social media. And I wanted to avoid, let's be real, we've all done it, the copy and paste message. I wanted to avoid that message. I wanted people to know that I truly cared about them. So I knew that if I went into this PB&J invite method and focused on quality versus quantity, I would be doing things right. So, yep, I see Jeff hopping on.
No, I mean, I want to get into the core of this, but I also want to pause on just some of what you just shared, and it just struck me. One of the great traits of leaders is they take these. There's an article I talk about it quite often called "The Crucibles of Leadership," and one of the characteristics of great leaders are people that can take these crucible moments, these trying, challenging moments that are and turn them into refining moments. And that doesn't mean it happens with the flip of a switch. You're moving through, but finding meaning in them and sharing that meaning and context, and they become things that over time strengthen. And the other point, the truth that you pointed out, is typically we all don't have the luxury of just resolving one part of our life while the other piece goes. And so we have to find ways to do that. So I just really want to pause and say I respect and just appreciate your example and just watching the outpouring here. So let's then move on to the PB&J piece. But anyway, just great respect there.
Oh man, you're gonna make me cry. And guys, I think it's really important for us to remember that life doesn't slow down. You have to show up. And so let's get into the PB and jelly method, okay? So I have to give a major shout out to Ali Tessitore, because I was looking for stuff, you guys, and I was looking for something that connected with me. And, a lot of the trainings I was like, not a lot of the trainings, but some of the trainings I was like, I don't know if I could keep up with that and be consistent with having a toddler and having, a lot going on in my life. Let me find something that I can be consistent with every single day that's going to push me out of my comfort zone, but also it's easy enough that I can't say, I can't do that every single day. So I'll be honest, after being a coach for 9 years, you guys, I am probably one of the most resistant coaches to change. And when social media changes, I'm like the last person to hop on, because I'm like, but maybe it'll just keep going. Well, I had to get real with myself as a business owner. And the things that I was doing last year, even just a couple months ago, were not working anymore, okay? And in order to grow my business, I had to change it. And if I had to change it, that means I had to change it for my team, because they watch what you're doing. So I hopped on a training with Ali Tessitore in Autumn Calabrese's Obsessed with Coaching group. And it was about recruiting. And Ali was talking about the peanut butter and jelly invite. Okay, so Ali's the one that created it. And she focused on the fact that she was doing 3 to 5 of these kind of invites every single day from people who were liking, commenting, or watching her Instagram stories. And she just did it every single day and stayed consistent with it, and it was growing her business. And I thought, you know what? That's it. I can do that. I can do 3 to 5 invites every single day. I can't do 20 because that's going to stress me out. You got to find what works for you. So me, I said, okay, 3 to 5 quality invites every single day where I'm getting personal with these people. I can do that. Okay, so I committed to that back in the beginning of July, and I said, okay, this is it. We're gonna do it. And it was uncomfortable. Yes, really uncomfortable. You guys, there's many days where I still don't want to do it, but I make it the first thing I do every single day. So let's get into the peanut butter and jelly invite. So guys, just like a sandwich, we've all made I hope everyone's made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich before. There's an order to everything, especially when it comes to making a sandwich. You have certain orders of things so that it flows together. You have to do it this way in order for it to work, you guys. You can't leave anything out, okay? And as you send these messages, think about this. We're all posting on social media, right? So there's people who are liking, commenting, and watching your Instagram stories every single day. These people are wanting to get to know you. They are showing you that they're interested in you, okay? And so it's on our side to actually take that relationship to the next level, okay? And if you stay consistent with you guys, you're gonna get more comfortable. At first, you're gonna feel like a fish out of water, and that's normal. I did too. I remember committing to it and telling my husband, you have to make sure I do this every single day. And he said, okay, just do it. Me, we back ourselves out of doing these kind of things. Just do it, you guys. The more that you do it, the more comfortable you're going to get, the more you're going to find phrases that work for you. It's all about trying and learning, okay? So let's think about a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Okay, you got the first slice, you guys. The first slice is a piece of bread, okay? And you put it down. So for the invite, that first slice is going to be thanking them for either liking, commenting, or watching your Instagram stories. For instance, if someone said, was watching one of my Instagram stories, I would say, hey, Sarah, I noticed you've been watching my Instagram stories recently, and I just wanted to reach out and say thank you. When we reach out and acknowledge that we see them watching, liking, or commenting, that means so much, you guys. They look at you as this person who is achieving so much, and they want a part of your life, but people are too scared to say that. So when they see that you are reaching out to them, that means the world to them, okay? The next is the peanut butter, okay? At least that's how I make my sandwich. I put peanut butter first. And so the peanut butter is the compliment. You're gonna go through and you're going to compliment that person on something that relates to you, okay? So when you're looking at these people, you're not just inviting everyone. You're inviting people who you feel connected with, okay? So for instance, in my life right now, I've been very open about the fact that I'm going through secondary infertility. I also have an amazing but crazy toddler. So I'm looking for other moms who are in that stage of life, okay? So as I go through and I look at their account, I'm looking for those things. What do we have in common, okay? So think about whatever season you're going through in your life and connect with those things, okay? So then the next part is that you compliment. An example compliment message would be, hey, I noticed that you are a mother as well. Your daughter is absolutely adorable. How are you liking this age? I also noticed that you're on your TTC, which is trying to conceive journey for another baby too. I am too. How is that journey going for you? Okay, so if you look at that, that person would be an ideal person for me to connect with because we have a kid around the same age, as well as are on our trying to conceive journey. Okay, the next level, you guys, is your jelly. The jelly is the invite. This is the part where Jeff said, people back out of this spot. They get nervous. Coaches do everything but the inviting. And you guys, the inviting is where your business is going to grow. You have to do it. So just put it in there, okay? And the more you do it, the more you'll get comfortable. So the third one, the jelly, is the invite either to a challenge group or coaching. So an example of what I would say is, I hope I'm not being too forward, but I couldn't help but see that you are also a very positive person from what you post on your account. I'm always looking for positive, upbeat moms to join my team. Have you ever considered being a virtual coach like I do? That's it, you guys. That's it, okay? Now, I've changed that wording several times. I've tried different things. You have to find what works for you, but the invite is the most important part. Now, you got your last piece of bread, okay? So you got your bread, your peanut butter, your jelly. Now, that last piece of bread is your out. Your out is there to show people that even if they don't want to become a coach or they don't want to join your challenge group, they don't have to unfollow you. Sometimes when we get those invites, people, they don't know how to respond, right? And if they're not excited about it or not quite ready, they almost feel like they have to unfollow you because they put their guards up. The out gives them a reason to stay. So the out is all about letting them know that they can continue to follow you whether or not they want to sign up as a coach or join one of your challenge groups. An example out is, if not, no worries. I just thought I'd mention it since I never know who could benefit from this opportunity like I have. I hope we can continue to follow each other. Emoji, okay? Put the smiley, put the winky face, whatever you feel comfortable. You have to use emojis because through this style, when they're looking at words, you want to make sure that they see that you're smiling, okay? That's really important, you guys. So let's put this invite together, you guys. So if you think about the bread, you think about the peanut butter, you think about the jelly, and then you think about the other slice of bread, when you put it all together, it's a really yummy sandwich. So an example peanut butter and jelly method invite would be, hey Sarah, thank you so much for following my Instagram stories. I was looking at your account and I noticed you have a daughter around the same age as mine. How do you like this age? I personally love it. I'm actually looking for moms just like me who are positive and upbeat to join forces with me on my virtual health coaching team. Have you ever considered doing something like this? If not, no worries. I just thought I'd ask. Hopefully we can still support each other on our journeys. That's it, you guys. That's it. The more that you do it, the more comfortable it's going to get, and you're going to fall in love with this method of inviting. Okay, so let's talk about how to get started, because I'm sure some of you guys are probably thinking like, I don't know where to start. Okay, so you have the actual blueprint of what a peanut butter and jelly invite is. So let's start. Okay, let's pick a start date. I would consider today your start date. Today's September 10th. It's a Monday. Perfect time to start, you guys. I would do it as soon as you get off the call. Go out there, send out 3 to 5 of them, okay? Pick a number that you can commit to. Some of you guys might be able to do more than 3 to 5. Some of you might just barely do 3. That's okay, you guys. It's more than what you are doing, and you can work up to more as you get more comfortable. Set a timer, okay? I love to have a timer set as soon as I start doing these invites because it forces me, the competitive side of me, to keep going. If I see that timer going down and I've only sent out 1 invite and I only have a couple minutes left, you better believe I'm going to be racing. I don't have enough time to overthink those invites. So give yourself 15, 20 minutes and get the invites out. The last thing, you guys, is grab someone to hold you accountable. I always talk to my husband about it, and I'll be honest, sometimes I don't do this first thing in the morning. I suggest doing it first thing in the morning, but there's days, I'm a human, where I'm like, craziness of getting a toddler out of bed and we overslept our alarm and all this kind of stuff. So I end up doing it at nighttime, and I'll tell my husband, hey, hold me accountable to get these last 5 invites in before we can go and do some family things. And he does it. Okay, so let's think about who to invite, okay? You want to invite people you mesh with. I'm not going to be bringing in people who don't have the same core values as I have. Or, maybe some people who have older children might not really connect with the fact that I have a toddler. You got to think of what season you're going through, okay? And you want to make sure that they're going to connect with you and your team as well. You want to make sure they're going to mesh with you. Now, how do you know if it should be a challenge group invite or a coach invite? I keep it super simple. I remember Ali Tezator saying that she looks at how many times they post on social media, because either way, the person's going to be your kind of person, right? So are they ready to coach or are they ready to be a challenger? We look at how many times they post on social media. If it's someone who's using Instagram stories, if it's someone who's posting several times a week on Instagram, that's going to make a great coaching invite for me because they're already active on social media. Adding in their journey and sharing that on social media is going to be a little easier. If it's someone who doesn't post as often, that's going to be my challenger invite because I'm hoping that by giving them a journey through Beachbody, they're going to feel more comfortable to share that on social media. I also want to point out for people who maybe don't have very many people who are following them on social media. I've been there, you guys. Yes, we are a Superstar Diamond team, but when I started back in April, I had basically just coaches following me. And I thought, okay, so how am I going to find new people? I have to use new hashtags, you guys. I'm about 99% on my business is spent on Instagram. So I'm saying, okay, how many different hashtags can I use that connect me with moms of girls, moms who are also going through secondary infertility, moms who live in this area, locations, you guys, always tagging different locations. I'm from Sylvania, Ohio, but I tag Columbus, Ohio all the time because it's one of the biggest cities in Ohio. I know there's a lot of people using that location. Just by doing those small things on my Instagram stories, on my Instagram posts, I'm bringing in new people. Now, if you say, hey, Meg, I've been doing this. I've been bringing in, a few new people with these hashtags, but not enough to send out 3 to 5 every single day. I want to really encourage you to go out and find those people at every single stage of your business. No matter how successful you've been, you're not going to have people knocking down your door. You have to be that person that's going out there and asking people to follow you. So what do I mean by that? Go and search those hashtags that you've been trying. Hashtag secondary infertility, hashtag toddler girl mom. I'm going on there, I'm looking for people like me, and I'm going through and I'm following them and I'm 531ing them. I'll get into that in a second, okay? Some of you guys might already know it, but I have a little twist to it. So I'm 531ing them before I send the peanut butter and jelly invite to them, okay? Because I wanna make sure that we have that relationship established. If I'm building that relationship the right way, those people are naturally going to start commenting on my Instagram posts. They're going to start liking. They're going to start watching my Instagram stories. It's a natural progression, okay? You never have to feel pushy at all. So let's talk about a time saver tip. I think this is really important, you guys. As you're going through and you're looking at the people who have liked, commented, or looked at your Instagram stories, I want you to find 3 to 5 of them that are not coaches, that you feel connected with, okay? Just look at their little picture and say, okay, do I feel like this could be the person? Go on and look at their account, okay? So you write down their account names, and then you write down something about them on their account that you see connects with you. Maybe they have a toddler. Maybe they are posting about the fact that they're a Labradoodle mom. Maybe they're posting about the fact that they like to travel. Maybe they're posting about the fact that they're on their journey to conceive as well. Find what connects with you, write a little sentence next to that person's name so that when you go to send your peanut butter and jelly invites, it doesn't take you a ton of time, okay? So it's kind of like the pre-work to sending out the peanut butter and jelly invites. Now, let's continue building that relationship past the invite. Guess what, you guys? I get ignored, I get no's all the time. But out of the 5 people that I'm messaging every single day, I have 1 or 2 people who I would have never invited say, I don't know really what you're doing, but I'd love information. And those are people I would have never connected with if I didn't force myself to do this style of invite. So how do we keep that relationship going with the people who said no or the people who ignored you? Don't let them go, because those are people who you thought connected with you, right? They have something going on. And I have people who come back to me all the time, you guys, because of this step right here. You're going to go through 1 day a week, okay? So Monday through Friday, you're doing your peanut butter and jelly invites. I'm not saying you have to do it on the weekends. Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 invites. 1 day on the weekend, whether it's Saturday or Sunday, I want you to go back and build that relationship deeper with the 5-3-1 method. The 5-3-1 method is liking 5 of that person's pictures, commenting on 3 of them, and this is where it's different than Shalene's. You're going to message one of those, or message that person off of one of the pictures that you commented on. For instance, if I saw someone who was posting about the fact that they were at the beach with their daughter and they had this adorable bathing suit, because I love to dress my daughter up, and they had this adorable bathing suit, and I'm like, oh, I want that bathing suit for Tenley, I would go through, I would like 5 of their pictures, I would comment on 3 of them, I would message them off of the one that I want the answer to. Where is that bathing suit from? So I would message that person whether they ignored me or said no to my invite and say, hey, I just saw your post about being at the beach. It looks like you guys are having a ton of fun. You got to tell me where that bathing suit is. I have to get it for Tenley. That's it, you guys. What happens is you're going to notice people who ignored your invite, they're going to respond to that question. And then they're going to say, oh, she wasn't just trying to sell me. She wasn't just trying to get me on her team or into a challenge group. She truly cares about me. She truly, wants to connect on a deeper level. So every single day, Monday through Friday, the peanut butter and jelly invites. And then 1 day a week, you're going through and you're liking 5, commenting on 3, and messaging off of one of those pictures, off of the last 20 people that you talked to about coaching or a challenge group through the peanut butter and jelly invite. So the last thing that I wanted to make sure I mentioned, you guys, is that I've been using this kind of method since July. Okay, I started it, and at the beginning, I felt really uncomfortable. And I was like, okay, I know that with everything in this business, there's always a 60 to 90 day delay. And if I can show up as the leader for my team and put myself out there, even though I feel really awkward and uncomfortable, and do this first, I can go back and show my team what's working and not working. I had no idea if this method was going to work, but because I stepped up and I did it first, I was able to go back to my team and say, hey, you guys, look at what's working. And my team ran with it. I mean, we are bringing on more coaches than we have in years, you guys. We are seeing our recruiting numbers going up. The quality of people who are joining our team wanting to actually build a business with this is going up. And I've seen my own recruiting numbers come up. Like I told you, in April, 0 coaches signed up on our team. And now in, what month is it? August, we brought in 13 new amazing coaches onto our team, you guys. And it feels good because these are people who I truly connect with, people who we just get each other. So the last thing, oh, Jeff, you want to say something?
No, finish your last thing and then we'll wrap.
Yeah. So the last thing that I wanted to make sure I mentioned is new coaches. I know it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for everyone, no matter what level of coaching you are, but you just have to do it. Your business will not grow if you are not inviting to it. So just step up to the plate and say, you know what, no matter what happens, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it every single day and know that my consistent behaviors are going to pay off if I put the time and effort in. So many coaches on our team are coming to me and saying, Meg, I used to be so fearful of inviting, but now I know exactly what to say and who to say it to. And to me, that just, it makes my heart sing, because inviting shouldn't be the hardest part of the business. We've made it the hardest part.
Meg, I just checked Skippy and Jiffy peanut butter stock, and it has just soared as a result of this call. But seriously, all joking aside, coaches, I'm just watching again the comments on this call, and there is just nugget after nugget after nugget on this. And again, to put it in perspective, coaches, here is what I will refer to as a seasoned, experienced coach who you just openly shared some of life's reality, some of life's trials, but has, I think, offered a real valuable insight into when that kind of thing comes. And even if it doesn't come, she has developed a very simple approach. She does it first thing in the morning. There is a process to it. And then, as she just shared at the very, very end, there is a delayed response on anything that you put into play. There's this learning of, she's shared 60 to 90 days on this. I saw one of the comments that so many stop after a week. I'm not seeing immediate gratification, immediate response from this, therefore it must not work. Successful coaches continue to do those things and focus longer on those things and give them a chance to succeed as they refine them. So, Meg, I've also seen on here a lot of requests for some of the scripts, and my response might be, coaches, maybe you should just go back and listen to this again, but maybe there's some of these pieces that you'd be willing to share on the Champs page, and we'll talk about that after, maybe get Kevin's shot of help. But phenomenal call, action-oriented, very specific, and authentic. And what poured through this was, we're looking at quality. We're really looking at helping people, and the methodology which you shared hits that nail on the head. And this is a people business. It's about people and connecting with them. So well done, Meg. Well done. Okay, we do have to wrap, but here you are so much later. Give us the 30-second out on this, on saying, here's how my life has gotten just a little bit better, if it has.
I told myself I wasn't going to cry, so I'm going to try to make it through this without crying. But honestly, you guys, Beachbody saved me through the last couple months. And between my clients, my coaches, my followers, my family, I don't know if I would have been able to pull myself out of that dark hole at the beginning of this year. And because of Beachbody and the 4 vital behaviors, honestly, you guys, because they focus on you and taking care of you and filling your cup, I don't know if I would be able to come back. But I do believe that I've come back stronger and better because of it. I also know that because of Beachbody, I have the best of both worlds. I'm a very goal-driven person, and I'm able to do that through this business, but also still be present with my daughter and my husband. But I think the one thing at this point that is the most powerful for us is that, because of Beachbody, we have the financial means to have a baby someday, somehow. I don't know how it's going to happen, but because of this business and because I made it a consistent behavior every single day to build this business, we will have a baby someday. However, the Lord wants us to have it. So that's my piece.
Well, that's boom. We'll close it right there. Meg, thank you so much. Again, great insights and love your heart, love who you are, and just proud to have you as one of our great leaders and coaches. So coaches, you got it all. We'll get off this call, but the trick now is taking what she shared and putting it into action. And as she shared, it's been the consistency in the doing over time. And that's the piece that oftentimes is the big burden, but that's the piece that you've got to embrace and you got to go for. Meg, great example. Sandy, I'll toss it back to you. Let's have a great week.
I'm not crying. You're crying. That was so great, Meg. And I cannot tell you how positive all the feedback was coming in while you were talking. So thank you so much. Meg is the one who reached out to me and said, I'm so excited. I have something to share with the network. And so go back, watch the call, listen to the call on podcast, everybody, and go have yourself an incredible week. I'll see you here next week. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.